The El Paso, Texas Shooters Manifesto, Hispanic Jewry, Nobel Peace Prize, Senate, Texas 2020, PaRaDiSe. As retired science teacher to at-risk students, I don't need a Senate seat any more than the Nobel Peace Prize. Yet, after the El Paso shooting on Saturday, August 3rd, 2019, the world certainly needs my whole peace formula. Hi, I'm Rick from Austin, Texas, and I've contributed the PaRaDiSe Recivilization Formula for the greatest benefit to humanity. I'm spearheading the PaRaDiSeism movement worldwide by bidding for the Nobel Peace Prize and locally by running independent for the U.S. Senate, Texas 2020. Let's start with the Shooter's Manifesto entitled The Inconvenient Truth that his, quote, attack is a response to the Hispanic invasion of Texas, unquote, which is just the latest version of the fear of the Reconquista. His political motives are that, quote, America is rotting from the inside out. The inconvenient truth is that our leaders, both Democrat and Republican, have been failing us for decades. They are either complacent or involved in one of the biggest betrayals of the American public in our history, end quote. His economic concerns are the loss of white jobs to, quote, continued immigration and, quote, automation. In closing, he says the record straight, and I quote him, my opinion on automation, immigration, and the rest predate Trump and his campaign for president. Let me take it all up as a whole and not by parts as news media tales. I'll address the motives of our bewildered yet beloved at-risk youth stemming from the failure of our dumbed-down educational system to provide viable creative alternatives to the path of hatred and violence. History teaches us that a lesson not learned is a lesson repeated. Overall, this targeting of ethnic groups is so reminiscent of scapegoating as was the case of the Hispanic Jews in 1492 Spain. The historical references to the persecution of Sephardic Jews who were forced to convert to Catholicism, hence anusim, or else face expulsion. Today is the persecution of immigrants from Mexico and Latin America forced to assimilate or else face deportation. Hispanics are a mixed lot of Iberian, Native American Indian, and Semitic, both Jewish and Arabic, amongst many others in varying degrees. So, the persecution of anusim in Spain and in New Spain in America holds a close parallel to that facing Hispanics in the U.S. today. Please see accompanying slide. But beyond the casuistry of the victims, what stands out is the shooter's disenchantment with the ideological, political, and economic leadership of our changing times in America. The impression I get is that out of despair, the lone individual sourced ideologies of blame for quick fixes to our broken political and economic system. Today's youth is vulnerable to fast and easy solutions to world history. I can understand why, when facing chaos, it's turning in hopelessness to violent quick fixes of disoriented authors, or else to recreational substances, if not outright suicidal behavior. And not only youth, adults as well. Like the shooter, I too felt madly angry, but chose instead the high pathway. I studied the creation story Genesis 1:1 to 2:3 Bereshit. I crossed forbidden red lines, ignoring the signals of taboos. I went ahead and synthesized opposites that could not be joined. I blended science with philosophy and theology. Imagine that. Yes, but I did it in following the principal takeaway of the creation story itself, that the whole is made of triad parts. That is, the truth of things is PaRaDiSe, the acronym, that triad parts PRD makes the one whole S. Please see accompanying slide. The take-home message of the above is that when in doubt between Republican red or Democratic blue, stay indie white. That is, don't fall prey for the trap set out, in this case by the Democratic Party, blaming the shooting on Donnie's rhetoric and the Republicans. Democracy is not a two-party system taking turns at the booty. In all fairness, both parties are half right and half wrong all of the time. Our two-party democracy is a joke, just that it isn't funny. Please see accompanying slide. In closing, If you have summoning power with family, friends, and strangers, know that it is given to be used. The proposal is to assume my position, study my videos and books, then summon scientists, philosophers, theologians, others, and present my proposal, PaRaDiSe Recivilization Formula, to the group for discussion. Ask for donations and ask for volunteers. Assume a leadership role. We need to start the PaRaDiSeism movement worldwide before it's too late to make a difference. By the way, the reason why I'm bidding for the NPP is that it will be a windfall, sort of self-fulfilling prophecy for the PaRaDiSeism movement as a whole. I have the calling of service to formulate the message of PaRaDiSe to disseminate and the mission of recivilization to realize. Éntrale a la bola, no seas canica. Let's roll, don't marble. Let's win the U.S. Senate Texas seat 2020, and let's earn the Nobel Peace Prize as soon as possible. Yours truly, Rick, and GD bless.